Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a fabulous Sunday. Okay, we have a lot to cover here again. Of course, this whole SouthPark thing is still going. We have some information on Andrew. We're going to do a quick overview of Anne's entire trip to New Zealand. William and Catherine were at the Baftas. She tapped his rear end in front of everybody. I'm not kidding. There's a lot to cover here, so let's just jump in and go. We're going to start with Cressida Bonus, who was spotted out and about with her baby Wilbur. She looked very casual. I did not realize that you could have velvet jeans. That's a new thing. She also had the dog. I think she looked very relaxed, very happy. And I love the fact that she's wearing the baby carrier correctly. So there's no chance of the baby falling. Interesting. All right, moving on. Next up, really quickly, Princess Eugenie was seen in LA at a VIP preview held at the Santa Monica Airport on February 16th in California. I wonder if she dropped in on Harry and Meghan. I doubt it. Moving on. All right, we're moving on to Anne, her trip to New Zealand. There's been so much. I just want to give you guys a quickie, okay? So we know that she arrived on day one. On day two, she met the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Christopher Hipkins, and then we know she visited the National Crisis Management Center. After that, she visited the Museum of New Zealand. Now, as Anne is the Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal New Zealand Corps of Signals, she attended a reception to mark the centenary of that, and then she went to the National War Memorial in Wellington, where she laid the wreath on the tomb of the unknown warrior. Then we know already that she went to the New Zealand Riding for the Disabled group. That was on day 3. And then she opened the mission to Seafarers New Wellington Mission and later unveiled the foundation stone for the mission to Seafarers at Wellington Cathedral. Then on day 4, she started her day at their library in Christchurch to hear about the rebuilding of the central city and the cathedral. And then she attended the rededication service at the Citizens War Memorial and laid a wreath in Cathedral Square. Now, later that day, most of you may not know that Anne is the president of the Royal Agricultural Society of the Commonwealth. So she met reps of the Agricultural Society of New Zealand and the Canterbury Agricultural and Pastoral Association at their agricultural park. And she later visited the World Merino and National Fiber workrooms. After that, Anne visited the Willowbank Wildlife Reserve because she's also patron of the New Zealand Conservation Trust. Man, this woman was busy. Also, while she was in New Zealand, at some point, she and her husband, and of course, Anne is the Colonel-in-Chief, like I said, they marked a reception of the centenary at the Government House in Wellington. All right, next, I just had to throw this in here. Canadian Penny on Twitter put up this picture of her dog, and I was so taken aback. Tell me that doesn't look like Finn. Tell me that is not Finn's doppelganger. Like, oh my goodness. How about this again? Here's her dog. Here's Finn. I mean, seriously. All right, moving on. Next up, we have the fabulous William and Catherine, the Prince and Princess of Wales. They were seen at the Bafta Awards, which took place on Sunday. As soon as I saw Catherine and William, first of all, my first thought was, does she walk or does she glide? I'm not trying to be smart when I say that. She literally was like gliding across the carpet. The two of them look to be in exceptionally good spirits. Can't imagine why. Now, Catherine is wearing the same white one-shouldered gown that she wore for the first time in 2019 to the same event. They took away the floral detailing and put a sweeping train of material. And the earrings that she's wearing cost 18 pounds. They're gold Zara earrings. And she put with it a set of black opera gloves. Now you can just imagine the conversation that was going on between the two of them as they were walking. Obviously, people were yelling, "Hey, William, hey, Catherine," because every now and then they would turn over the left shoulder or look over the right shoulder. But there was one incident that really caught my attention. And I said to myself, I can't imagine that Catherine just did that in public. You know, she does it at home, but in public, yeah. Okay, so they're walking along, they're having this conversation. You know, she's like, dude, they're loving this. Can you imagine how good our luck is? You know, something. She leans up and she pats William on the tush. Yes, right in front of the camera. She tapped him on the you-know-what in front of everybody, in front of the world. I love that they're being so relaxed and so playful and they're having such a good time. They deserve it, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm sure they watched South Park. I have no doubt that they watched it. And, they saw the part where Catherine was, fierce of spirit, hot of face, pure of heart. Yeah. All right, moving on. All right, here we go. It's being reported that 12 new pieces of music were commissioned and will be performed at the Coronation. And this is going to showcase musical talent from the UK and the Commonwealth. I love that. And Charles is also including Cornish, and Orthodox chants. In other words, he's including all other religions in this as well. I just think that's wonderful. Now, speaking about the coronation, people are saying that if Harry and Meghan show up, they're going to be very strictly controlled because they can't be trusted. I hate to say it, I completely agree. They can't be trusted. Now, I see this on Twitter. They won't attend if they're going to be searched for electronic devices. But I agree with Andy's mom, they can't attend unless they're searched for electronic devices. And in a final coup de grace, I find it very interesting that King has already said that he will not meet with Harry and Meghan because obviously anything they say would be recorded or would end up in the next chapter of the book that's coming out. Don't forget, he's adding more chapters. Now, Harry has painted himself into a corner by saying, I will not attend unless they meet and apologize. So the question is he going to eat his words and show up? I say yes. All right, moving on. I found this on Twitter and I found this very interesting. A super sleuth asked, who wants to remain anonymous, figured out that Harry is merching the Elizabeth Arden cream because it was sponsored in the 2011 and the 2013 walks with Wounded. So they're basically claiming that when Harry said he had frostbite, that's a lie. He's merching the product. You have to wonder, though, if he's going to open himself up to such ridicule over some cream. All right, moving on. Now the stories are coming out that Meghan is pregnant with their third child. I think we all know what this is. These are articles that are being put out to deflect from the SouthPark thing. Now everybody, instead of talking about SouthPark, is going to go, ooh, is she pregnant? Is she pregnant? I guess we'll find out at the coronation if they show up. Blah, 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 blah. This is typical diversionary tactics. I personally doubt that she's pregnant in her 40s. I mean, I don't think she was pregnant the first time either. But, that's just what it is. Valentine's Day has already come and gone. There has been no announcement. Now, here's the interesting thing. In case you guys forgot, Harry and Meghan actually got an award, a monetary award, for saying that they were only going to have 2 children to not impact the environment anymore. So if she was actually to be pregnant, you have to wonder if they're going to give back the award and the money. But then again, they didn't give back the award that they won for fighting structural racism in the family, which they later claimed didn't exist. So, yeah. All right, moving on. All right, I have to go back to the SouthPark episode because there were a few details that some very eagle-eyed viewers spotted that some of us didn't spot. Okay, to start with, yes, they put Harry's beard on the front cover of the book. Here is Catherine and William's wedding with the long trail going down the back. Remember, she's hot of face. Okay, we know what this is a picture of, supposedly, right? Then they brought in the fact that they're always on private jets. Then the candle from the funeral made an appearance right there on the left. Then in the front, you have the bench made an appearance, right? From the book. Then one of my subscribers sent me this email. And she pointed out that if you watch the show very closely, as the show progresses, Meghan's skin gets darker and darker. I hadn't paid any attention till she said that. And she's absolutely right. Here she is at the beginning. Here she is in the middle. I mean, guys, I didn't catch that. Okay, now they're saying that Meghan is really upset because this is going to rebound on her and could affect any future aspirations she had in politics. The truth is, this is how people see her. I just don't think she realizes it. And Megyn Kelly said that she's jumped the shark. And there's absolutely, that's a U.S. saying, there's absolutely no recovery from it. I completely agree with her. Megyn Kelly said, and I'm quoting, that this is the beginning of the former royals' downfall. She said, I feel this is a pronouncement that they have jumped the shark. They are not beloved. Her hopes of running for president, reported hopes, are all but dashed. Yep. Well, the thing that's getting them now is that they're not in control of the narrative. Now, for instance, when they went to the Ripple of Hope Awards, they're saying that Harry produced a lame joke that he and Meghan were having a date night, and he laughed like a drain with the audience, and the whole thing came off pre-rehearsed and badly executed to try to show their fun and playful side and how we've missed that from Harry. But it badly flopped, and Meghan offered a fake laugh, and it was very well rehearsed. Then you look at the U.S. chat shows like Jimmy Kimmel, who attacked him, and all of this stuff is going on, and the thing is, they're not in control of it. And this new campaign against them is going to make them very concerned about their celebrity status in the United States. So who's not surprised that their legal team is now looking at the episode to see what could be turned into a lawsuit? This is their course of action instead of just laughing it off, enjoying the moment, and showing the world they get the joke. But no, they're apparently very unhappy, and they think it's harmless and will be easily forgotten, just like the dreadful cartoon that was based on Prince George, remember, that was axed after one season. So they're starting off with rumblings, and it's just ridiculous, especially when you think that they have yet to sue Tom Bauer for his book. It's funny, these two books that came out, they never sued, and nobody seems to have caught on the fact that they haven't sued. And the reason they haven't sued is because you can't sue against stuff that's the truth. After all, we do know they love a legal fight. Let's not forget about the fight with the UK courts where we found out she had helped write Finding Freedom. But let me just tell you, SouthPark has not received anything, and apparently they've got nothing to fear. They have the legals all over this, and they wouldn't have broadcast it unless they had everything, flattened out. So there you go. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. They want to talk about Empire 2.0. They want it to be taken seriously like the Obamas. And instead, they've become figures of ridicule. But they don't have anybody to blame from that except themselves. That's what it is. All right, moving on. Next up, a blind item came out saying that Meghan had lunch with somebody who decides the replacement for certain very, very high-profile positions. I'm not exactly sure what this alludes to. For me, it's very ambiguous. Now, as we're talking about lawsuits, I just wanted to bring this up. I've already shown you the lawsuit from Samantha Markle against Meghan Markle. Now she's had to file a suit to try to compel them to sit for depositions. Meghan is fighting this tooth and nail all the way through. She doesn't want to sit for depositions because she knows that if she and Harry and Thomas Markle Jr. and Thomas Markle and Doria and Oprah and Jason Knopf and all these people sit down, her whole story is going to go kaplooey. So she's fighting this tooth and nail. So you can slow this down, freeze the screens. I suggest you read through it as much as you read through the 27-page document of the lawsuit that I already uploaded for you, because it really gives you a good insight into what is happening and why this, all this stories about Samantha doesn't have a good case. It's wrong. let's not forget the last time she went to court, she was found to have lied 5 separate times or had quote unquote contradictions to her claims. Remember that? Remember, she said in a sworn statement that she did not know that anybody on the communications team had given information to Omid and Carolyn Duran, and said she had not been contacted by her aides for any clarifications. Then she apologized and said, oops, it slipped my mind, because the email showed that she and Mr. Knopf sat down with the aides for 2 hours with the Finding Freedom writers. She said that her pals went to People magazine and said that, she made a series of calls to her dad, and she wrote a heartfelt letter to him and made reference to his ill health. And let's not forget, she wrote the letter and said, I'm going to call him Daddy because when he leaks it, it'll pull at the heartstrings. And by the way, she never mentioned his ill health in the letter. These are just a few examples. It's just on and on and on and on it goes. But, we all know she may have won that case, but she lost. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly the thing that I think is going to happen with this next case. All right, let's move on to Andrew now. Apparently, he is concerned that he's going to lose his 30 million pound home in Windsor as soon as King Charles really takes over, because apparently he's slashing his annual grant. He's tightening the purse strings for all members of the royal family because he's streamlining it, especially, look, we've all been talking about he wanted to slim down the monarchy. He's been talking about that for years. But right now the country is experiencing difficult financial times. So since Andrew is no longer receiving public funds from the sovereign grant, since he stepped back in 2019, this could have a massive monetary effect on Prince Andrew. He said it feels like his brother is trying to evict him. He's not explicitly being kicked out, but he won't be able to afford the maintenance of the property. Now, Royal Lodge has a swimming pool, 98 acres of land, needs some repairs, and apparently when he took it on, he signed a 75-year lease in 2002 after the Queen Mother passed away, okay? It's a 30-room home, and then it needed significant refurbishment, which had already cost the royals millions of pounds. So until September, when the Queen passed away, he was being supported, Andrew was, by his mother through a private Duchy of Lancaster fund. He was getting £249,000 a year. He was also getting a small Navy pension during, he was in the Falklands War. He served with distinction. Now, he also got a substantial inheritance from both his mother and his father. And so another source is basically saying Charles said that this move isn't just targeting Andrew, it's all of them. They said that Andrew can use his own money to pay for things like other members of the royals can. He's not poor. He got a huge inheritance. So they're saying that while the king will reduce Andrew's income, he won't entirely slash it. And he's supposedly guaranteeing his brother a home. The thing is, Andrew is supposed to maintain the home. And if he does maintain it, it's going to cost him a fortune out of his own pocket. Now, with that being said, stories like this are coming out now. Andrew wants to follow Harry and Meghan to the United States. No, he doesn't. They certainly wouldn't allow him in their home because it might tarnish their image. He's going to be staying right there on Windsor. And those kinds of clickbait articles for me are they're just ridiculous. It's another thing that kind of irks me. Here you have somebody who's a multi-millionaire. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip left them millions upon millions upon millions. So I don't see why he should care if 249 pounds a year is taken from him. It's not like he's short of money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I want to end this by giving a shout out. You guys know I like to reach behind and find those smaller channels, and I found one. This young lady, Letitia Murray, she did a video. She did a video on me 3 days ago, or on something I said on one of my videos. And I didn't even know she had done it until I saw it. But I really liked her style. And so I'm giving her a shout out. She has 875 subscribers. Go give her a listen. And if you like, give her a like and subscribe. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Hit that subscribe button. If you've already hit it, double check and make sure you're still subscribed. We still have people saying they're being unsubscribed by YouTube, although we don't know why. Don't forget to leave those good comments below. Don't forget to go up into the description box. You'll find the links there to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon. For those of you who've donated through the Coffee Fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.